Backlight, we might as well make those motions that are related to this.
Yep.
So one is to authorize the purchase? Or
Yeah, so one is to declare that the end of Endeavor Road is no longer a municipal road, and to authorize the CAO to execute the resolution,
Okay, somebody want,
statutory declaration.
some moved? Seconded, discussion, all those in favor? Opposed, motion carried. And the other one is a motion to,
The second one was, there was a second part of that one.
Confirm the complete, the staff to complete the sale.
Yeah.
Of the property as per the agreement to purchase the sale.
For Endeavor Avenue.
moved? Discussion, all those in favor? Opposed, motion carried. Any other
And
motion?
then the last one, I think, is a motion
Authorize the $4,500?
authorizing the $4,500 for the purchase of it.
Moved and seconded, discussion, all those in favor? Opposed, motion's carried. Okay, now, to the very best of my knowledge, I'm back on 12.2.
Yep.
Quarterly Department Update, Public Works.
Hello again. All right, busy day. Yeah, it's just a quick catch up what we did in the first quarter. Lots of stuff is missing probably, but it's just business as usual. Maintenance guys get things going, the parks going, the trails, just recovering from the winter damage, of course. And wastewater, the inventory is moved to the main building now. And there'll be a lot of work coming up with the new treatment plants, just getting everybody up to speed, and the asset management are the same. Did a fair bit of training. That's a good time to do it. And one of the things we do, we reach out to other organizations in the county, just trying to cut the cost down, because if we can bring in an instructor to do it at our facility versus paying everybody to drive out there and do that, it's just so much better. Right, Carrie and Scott, they're official, employees now. And then we'll be posting a few other positions coming up. And yeah, we're trying to keep track of our project programming, what we got on the ball with everything there, and with who the project leads are, that's on the attachment. And really everyone's involved, right? Whatever project, we try to do what we can in-house with the maintenance wastewater people. There you are. Any questions?
Anybody, any questions? Nope, thank you much.
All right.
Okay, 12.3, Staff Information Report, Economic Development, Sponsorship Update.
Oh. All right, so this is just an update for council. I'm here if there are any questions, but it provides an overview of where we are with the economic development sponsorship. There's the chart there that shows what we have approved. We have a requirement in the policy to update council within 2 weeks of approving some new economic development sponsorships. So we have the two new ones that are there, Country at the Cross and the South Shore Bulletin 150th Anniversary Community Celebration for $100. And the previously approved ones are there as well. So it's just for information
this.
update, and if there are any questions, I'm
Anybody
obviously
get
here.
any questions on what we already approved? Nope, thank you.
Thank you.
12.4, new private road name assignment. Oh, we can't do that. She's not here. Yes. Yes, Sylvia's not around.
Yeah,
Oh, frig, it's usually easy with her here.
yeah, well, I will make it hard. We do have a new private road name, which is Ocean Mist. And as is outlined in the report, that anytime we have 3 dwellings on a road, that's required to have the private road. And so the survey has been completed, and so there's a couple of name suggestions, but the one that's being recommended is Ocean Mist. The other name, of course, is a little bit close in terms of Scotch Cove Road. Come on up, Sylvia. They'd rather talk to you than me.
Well,
I guess Chad already started 2 road names. The fire department prefers the Ocean Mist because of their second choice, Scotch Haven, was close to the nearby road name.
Yeah, Scotch Cove, right, yeah.
And no other objections from Public Works.
are we all good with Ocean Mist?
Yes.
Moved? Seconded? Got a couple seconders. All those in favor? Opposed, motion's carried. Yeah, I knew as soon as she came in, I'd just vote. Okay, this here's staff information report, development agreement. Astra Capital,
am in conflict,
yeah.
obviously.
Okay, so this is just sort of an information report to let you know that we've got a new file. We received the application beginning of July for a development agreement for 4 multi-unit dwellings totaling 30 units. It's a newly created portion of 84 Chester Commons Road. It's a 2-acre piece of land. We've got some residential dwellings and some multi-unit dwellings across the road from it, as well as some vacant land, and it borders the connector trail. It sits in the settlement residential 2 zone, and within that list of permitted uses, development agreements for 12 or more residential dwelling units on 1 lot. We follow the development agreement process. So next steps, staff are going to, I'm gonna go through that application, prepare the reports and draft development agreements. We'll host the public information meeting and then go to PAC, followed with coming back to council and scheduling that public hearing. The application and cover letters attached.
That's just all for information at
Yep.
this point, and we've had so much luck with development agreements lately that
We're gonna have fun.
can't wait to see what happens. Thank you. Okay,
Can you, Garth, could you let Andre know he can come back?
yeah, keep out there. Now, to the very best of my knowledge, oh, where does my friggin' agenda go now?
3 things.
Yes, but I can't find them.
Councillor Bremner had several items.
Yeah,
You want to start there?
Yeah, okay, Councilor Brenner, you can start with yours. I don't.
All right, thank you, Warden, and just want to bring up a couple of community things that happened. Of course, right now, Chester Race Week is on, and it's very active down there, lots of boats. I believe it's the second highest they've had in a decade of attendance of boats, and it's very entertaining to watch those boats sail around the different parts of the area, and lots of activities in the community and around related to that. Last weekend, the Graves' Island Car Show happened. It was very popular, it always is, and hats off to those that did all the hard work in getting that prepared too. We also had the Western Shore Fire Department Garden Party, which we all popped into to say hello, and that's an annual event that comes every year and is always well enjoyed. And there's still lots of activities happening in the municipality that we need to make sure we support and promote to the best that we can so those organizations can continue. This week, for those that have been driving by the old Windjammer hotel site, they're seeing the fire department training unit in from the province, 1 of 3. And there's been every fire department in our municipality actively taking training and opportunities to teach new methods, safety issues, and their membership in both the veterans and the juniors, which is very important. And it's going to be here, I think, till the end of the weekend and then move on. And then it'll be back once in a while again because there are, as I said, 3 of these in the province, and they're moving around from area to area as required for training and upgrading. Also, lots of filming happening in the area. Over the Church Memorial Park today, that's full of vehicles, so all those roads, be careful. There's lots of transportation vehicles moving around and tractor trailers and things, and it's a huge issue. The last one I want to bring up, well, maybe not the last one, but the one that I get the most calls about lately are ticks.
Ticks.
Our lovely ticks on the deer, and as we know, there are multiple deer around. I'm wondering if council is interested in writing the Minister of Health and the Minister of Natural Resources for 2 separate reasons. One of the Minister of Health to encourage her and them to really find a way to make this a priority in the world of reviews. I mean, we've read reports, it's doubled and triples in the amount of the medical trips to the hospital and local clinics. And there has to be some priority, and I know there's studies going on, but we can vaccinate other things in other ways, and here we have nothing to deal with, and multiple people are getting sick multiple times, and they're getting worse in conditions. We need to do this. So I'd like to put a motion on the floor that we write the Minister of Health and the Minister of Natural Resources. And the one to Natural Resources, my understanding, there's supposed to be a program or some work being done by the province on governance or dealing with deer in municipalities, and I'm looking for input from them and hopefully having them here when we get that session going where the public can come in and work with us and trying to help find ways to deal with this. There's no easy solution, but there's definitely a way. So I put that motion on the
So
floor.
it was a motion to write 2 letters.
Yeah.
Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, motion's carried.
And my final question is to the CAO. I know we've had some communications from various community groups in the village about snow removal.
Yeah.
Is it appropriate to ask for a staff report now to
Yeah, I
come
think
with that?
that would be fine. We're planning on putting that on the September 10th agenda, so we can come with a staff report. if
Do I
that's-
need a motion to have that?
No,
No,
just
CAO.
they're gonna do it anyway.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, Tina, Community Fund. And Chad is around.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I'm very happy that Chad is joining us. So he'll lead us, but basically it's a request from the New Ross Community Care Center group in terms of getting a draw on the amounts that would be within the designated community fund that we hold here at the municipality.
Thanks, Tina. So typically I put together a brief report that just outlines the requests and the available funds. And so I did receive an email, a letter from Matthew Reeves with this exact request. So just since I didn't have a chance to circulate, I'll just read it. It's
Yes.
just, the New Ross Community Care Society would like to draw the requested amount of $3,000 from the designated community fund for municipality of Chester. These funds will be used for pre-development costs, including the design and business planning. So that request has come in, and I double-checked with the Department of Finance this morning, and there is sufficient funds in there to grant that, issue that grant of $3,000.
So you just need a motion from us to grant it. Seconded? Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, motion's carried.
Yeah, and I just want to say, thank you, Chad. I appreciate the quick turnaround. I did tell the group that we do have a process in place, timelines in terms of getting things on the agenda, but they understood to at least bring it up if we could. So thank you for that.
Not a problem. Okay, Andre, park improvements.
Okay. By way of introduction, first I'm going to talk about an incident that occurred at one of our parks in East River Point. And then I'm going to talk about some changes that I think we need to sort of reflect on perhaps, about how we manage some of our little parks. So along the Aspetalgan coastline, there are a number of little beach areas and things that are enjoyed by the local residents. One of those areas is Meisner's Beach, which is close to a little daycare and well used by residents. We own a small piece of property there. And on that property, just off the highway, for some reason, I'm not sure why, there is actually a driveway that actually goes down into this piece of land and then comes back out. And this week, and it's not the first time, actually in the last 3 years or so, it's happened 3 times with 3 separate incidents where people have brought in campers and set up their own little campsite there, and they decided that that's going to be their little campground until finally, with the help of our bylaw enforcement, we're able to chase them out of there. And it gets the locals very upset because they see that it is an abuse of their park.
Yeah.
And I accept that that's actually a realistic reaction. You know, there's no facilities for such a usage, and it's abusive. So that particular problem could be remedied very easily by placing some boulders or something in front of those driveways. I think a work order has been put in by bylaw enforcement a long time ago, but for some reason it hasn't been acted on, because that would prevent that. But when I was thinking about that, then, you know, you can extend that beyond that where, you know, people could bring tents or whatever, you know, so maybe they can't drive in, but they could still have people camping. And we do have, you can't protect against every eventuality, but with a little signage, it may help also. But building on that, I was thinking, well, you know, what would really be ideal for that little area would be a couple of little picnic tables where people would make it clear to those that go in that our land that we own, that this isn't for camping, but if you want to eat a sandwich here or whatever, that's what it is. And that would, I think, make that clear. You wouldn't be able to drive through it. It's very sensible and thoughtful, and I would think easy to implement. I would think. But, and Chad will know this well, I've actually had a request before me for many months now that I forwarded on to Recreation about other folks in Blandford that on our Blandford Wharf, we own a little scrap of land there, and it's also enjoyed by the locals
Yeah.
that attend that beach. We had a little controversy about that some years ago when some scrap metal was placed on that beach, and there was a lot of excitement about that. But locals have asked, can we have a picnic table there? Because they want to not sit on the ground, they want to be able to sit and eat a sandwich or whatever and enjoy our municipal property. I would think intuitively, this is something that would be very easy to do. A picnic table costs $100 or whatever. You put it there, people would enjoy it.
And bolt them to the ground so that nobody steals.
Sure,
Sure.
you know, but what I've been told is because this will trigger some sort of accessibility review or something like that, suddenly we can't do even the simplest improvement on our parks. And that's when I'm actually starting at this point now, because there's two incidents that could improve the lives of our local residents very well, and those that are not in a hamlet area that are benefiting from sidewalks and all these other infrastructure things that we put in place. These are the very few things that those areas actually can see a tangible benefit for their tax dollars.
Yeah.
And now I'm being confronted with bureaucracy that actually just enrages me at this point. That we can't put a picnic table on our own land. So I want an order of council be able to do this, and I want some clarification on what it is that we can do. Because as far as I've been able to research, there's no reason why we can't. I heard even today we're putting a gazebo up in and on the Hahn property, and it is accessible as much as it can be. Well, I would say that improvement of sitting on the ground versus being able to sit in a wheelchair next to a picnic table, that's an improvement in accessibility, isn't it?
Yeah. So what's the
So
reason
why
that we
is it that
can't
we
do
have to bring up the whole park to an accessible standard when, in fact, the regulation doesn't say that? I would like to have it cited or read out to this council why it is that we have to do that, and why we can't carry out even the simplest thing to improve the lives of our residents that are live in these rural areas. I
What?
want answers.
Well, I'm gonna ask for one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't have the act in front of me, so I can't read it out, but there are new requirements that came out with the new accessibility legislation. And so for public land, there is very specific criteria in there when we add picnic tables to municipal property, that there's a formula and there's a ratio of the number of tables that are required to be accessible and not. So if we have a park, like for Little League Park, for example, if we add new tables, there's a percentage of those tables that are required to be accessible. And so for this situation where we have a parcel of land where there are no picnic tables and we're going to add a picnic table, even if it's just one, that one is required to be accessible. So that is the easy part. We can buy an accessible picnic table. But the somewhat challenging part, and I can go away and get some clarification on this based on what is in the act. But it's not just the accessible table, but
It's how you get to the table.
how you get to the table and how that table is set up. And so I'll get clarification on that, and if it's as easy as buying an accessible picnic table and putting it in,
Just go do it.
easy peasy, we'll just go do it. I suspect it'll be a little bit more to that. We can absolutely still go do that, but it may require, I'm not sure what it's gonna require. I don't know if there's required to be, like, for example, a crusher dust base underneath it, so people can approach the table and, with a chair to actually use that table. I don't know those details, so I will find that out. I'll speak with our accessibility coordinator to get the facts on what are the bare minimum of, if we wanna put a table out, what's the bare minimum
Do
that
the
we need
least
to do.
possible amount that we
and
can.
To
Yeah.
do that, for sure.
Are you good
Nobody
with-
is
I will do that.
discussing the importance of accessibility. Obviously, it
Absolutely.
matters.
Yeah.
What we're talking about is whether the legislation is prohibiting us from making small improvements on accessibility. Nobody's gonna argue that when you put the table, even if you can buy one with an extension or whatever so that it's more accessible. That's an improvement on accessibility that doesn't exist now.
You would think.
So I don't see anywhere in the legislation, and I will challenge that person, bring her in, how it is that we can't do small improvements on accessibility. Where is it in the act that it says that we cannot improve accessibility?
No.
So,
Okay.
so I'm.
I want these tables.
So he's gonna go find out, Andre.
Yep, so I will do my best, and I will find out exactly what the requirements are for those tables, and if it's easy as buying an accessible table and putting it in, we will do that immediately.
Please.
If there's more, so I guess the question is, if there's more requirements than that, is council okay with us
Look, if
proceeding
they're
to do
minor,
that?
great, they hit do it. If it's gonna cost us $25,000, come back and ask us.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
All right with that, people? Okay, thank you. That's the end of the day, people. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Anybody want to second it? He's not here for anything. Discussion, all those in favor? Opposed, motion's carried. We already dealt with